Hello everyone, I'm John, Shopkeep Arty, hosting artists from all around the world in lots of different mediums to inspire you and get your juices flowing. Today we are going to be traveling to India to welcome to our channel Nisha Sehjpal, who we've actually sort of had within our fold before, because she did help us as a co-host probably over a year ago now, and hosted a few artists, and it was really exciting. And then she got incredibly busy, probably with all her art hoarding, and so decided to go off to lots of different art shops. So we lost touch for a little while, but now we're hosting her as an artist. We're going to be getting really a bit cooler, because you know, in this environment, it's been incredibly hot in the UK. I don't know wherever you are, but it's really weird, all these temperatures. We hit 40 degrees Celsius, incredibly hot, and I couldn't think of a better subject. Nisha said, why don't I paint the snow? And I thought, God, that was snow. I remember that. So yes, today we are doing the snow. So I thought, what a great, appropriate backdrop to have for you all. Enough of me chatting. Let's now zoom to Nisha as we fly down to India. If you're watching a recording of this event, you can find all the recommended materials for this art class in the description below. Hello, Nisha.
Oh, hi.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing better-ish. Let's say
And
that.
you've just been to Singapore, I think.
Yeah, I just returned like 3 days back, so it's
So the big question is, so you're probably suffering from jet lag a little bit, but the big question is, what art materials did you buy?
Did you see that? You see that?
Oh yeah.
All those brushes, that Chinese stand,
Oh
and
really? Wow.
loads of ceramic palettes, Holbein palettes, like you name it. But I didn't buy many paints because I'm already getting so many paints. So I said, why spend when I'm getting it for free? So I was like, let's spend on something that I'm not getting for free.
Well, I always find when I buy, because I sometimes buy a few little art materials
Mhm.
or other things with regards to my other hobbies like golf. I buy a golf club, and I find it really difficult to just use it for the first time, because I think maybe it will really transform me. Maybe I'll become an amazing, and then I don't kind of want to actually use it for that first time. It takes me ages to sort of,
The same thing happens to me, or used to happen to me, because I would get like these expensive Kolinsky sable brushes, and they're like
yeah.
costing a mountain of money. But I would be like, oh, what if I ruin it? But then I changed my thought process, and I thought, what if I die today and the brushes are left and no one is going to use them? What a waste of their life.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true.
yeah.
So you've just got to use it. You've just got to go for it. So now, as I said, what we're going to do is I'm going to hand over to Nisha. She's going to take you through. Hopefully, you've had a look at the reference photo that you've either downloaded from our website or you were sent yesterday prior to this event. And in actual fact, she's got a ready-made painting that she's done on her board there, so you can see what it will or hopefully look like from your side by the end of the class. So Nisha, explain, well, first of all, why did you choose this as a subject? Have you been getting more into snow and mountains and things?
You always want something that you don't have. We don't have snow over here. I have like I live in a concrete jungle. All I see are buildings and few maybe plants that might revive or look green during the monsoon season. But apart from that, I don't see mountains. I don't see snow. I don't see a lot of fun stuff or florals even. That's why I do florals. That's why I do landscapes that are not like actually available to me.
Yeah.
So yeah. And moreover, why I chose this subject is because I am not comfortable with landscapes. Those are not my forte. Those are not like they really scare me out. So I always look for ways to make them in a creative way that keeps me interested. That
I
makes
see.
sense. For
Yeah, yeah.
if it's interesting enough, I will try it again and again. But if the subject is already scaring me, but as an artist, you need to be able to paint anything. You might love painting something, but you have to be able to paint everything. So I love painting florals, but let's not say I cannot paint landscape. I can paint anything. I might love something, but yeah.
Right, over to you then, Nisha. How do you want people to start with this subject?
First of all, by losing their chair and standing up. That's how I'm starting. Wanting to
Okay.
start because when you're standing, you have got more movement in your hands. With chair, you're like stuck over here. So I want them to stand,
Okay.
and I'll go over with the materials. Let me just tidy up a bit and lose the specs. If you wear specs, lose it. Because losing specs helps you loosen up. You don't see the subject that clearly. You don't get into the details. You don't find every spot because as it is, you're seeing blurry. Remember, Monet, when he painted the water lilies, he was practically blind. And those are his most famous subjects and paintings. So keep that in mind.
I think that is a great tip, and I'm gonna do that more often with. I think I can't actually see. Hang on a minute. Where am I going? Oh no, that is better. That is better. Okay, back with you, Nisha.
These are the sample mountains. As you know, semi-abstract paintings, you cannot paint two paintings that look very much similar. So this is an example where you can go, put in some effort. This is what we will be doing today. You can put a screen grab if it's funny. Is this okay, John?
Yeah, I mean, I did send the reference photos through to them yesterday, so hopefully people have printed that out. Anyway, I'm just going to make a comment before we go too far into this tutorial that I think you've got a fluorescent light, and it's just making a few
Okay, let me just.
flickers over the top.
Is this
Ah,
better?
that's much better, much better.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we'll be doing this, but I have practiced, and this is the something that you can do. This is very simple version. This one, it's got nothing. It's just got an idea of the mountain. But yeah, these are some of the sample paintings. And what we will be needing today, let me go this aside. Ah, it's a hot press paper. Now the size is 16 by 12 inches approximately. So no, not an A3. I don't think it's an A3, but yeah, it's an hot press paper, and it's quite unusual for watercolor artists to work on hot press paper, especially if you're working abstracts or semi-abstracts. But you'll know why, because I'll be painting with credit card. Those are cut up, and if you notice, the edges are smooth out. Like I've used a nail filer, or you can use sandpaper to just the corners. You don't want to damage the paper when you're moving it around. And the technique, I call it plastering. It could be anything that you can think about because I haven't come across anyone that uses this technique. There might be. I'm not saying that I'm the original artist who discovered this because it's a old thing. So I've cut up my credit cards in different sizes and widths. Or you can do that. And okay, coming to colors, I'll be using what I'm using today. Let's say I'm using obsidian brown and some lavender. Now, why I'm using this color is because of the separation. If you look at the painting earlier, this one, I haven't used many colors over here. I've used just two colors. But if you see, you've got browns, you've got blues, you've got shades of ochre. So yeah, this way you can experiment with these colors. In case you don't have it, you can go with Daniel Smith's Moon Glow or Shadow Violet. Shadow Violet might be a good color for this one. Also, if you're using Schminke, I think they have a various range of super granulating colors. If you have that, go for it. And if not, mix your own colors. Look at the pigments, mix your own colors, French ultramarine, Mars brown, some ochre, because these colors, they don't stain each other, but they do separate. They'll come out of the tube looking like a gray goop, gray black goop, but when you add water, they separate beautifully. I'm going to pour out some fresh paint. Don't want to run out of some paint in the middle of painting, so
And just a few comments to read through. So Francis said hi from Trinidad. Hello, Francis. Carl said he's back from the UK. Sorry we didn't get a chance to meet up. Oh, that's a shame, Carl. But maybe next time. And Karen said, yes, we're all young at heart. Diana, morning all from Virginia. Annalie said, hi, Nisha. Nice to see you. Jane,
hi,
tuning in
Annie.
from Jane tuning in from Essex at last, and Karen. So, would I be without my specs? Yes, you would. And Christina, great, love skiing. Karen, I don't have hot press, so should I use cartridge paper?
No, go ahead with cold press paper, but you won't get similar exact results because cold press has some tooth to it, so the pigments do get a hold in between the gaps. If you've seen the texture, it's like this. You've got valleys and ridges, and so the more texture you have, the more texture and shadows you're going to get over here because you're already using granulating colors. You're having two things competing against with each other. So you've got your paper with the texture, you've got the paints with the texture. But if you like the overdose of texture, go with the rough one. Go with anything that you like, but it's just a preference. Because I like, if I'm using super granulating colors, I like my texture, my paper to not have anything to do with it, not give, not fight with it.
Hmm.
If that makes sense, because we'll talk about it later on also,
Okay.
because I'll show you the textures that a cold press or a rough surface gives with super granulating colors. And I personally don't like it. People do like it. It's okay. It's your choice. Every artist to its own. Go ahead.
No,
So
okay. Uh,
shall
and
we
and and Louise, hello, Louise from Israel. Christina also said neutral tint is okay or Payne's grey.
Do you have Payne's blue gray? Because it will have a blue pigment to it. Black is okay. If you could mix it with some of, let's say, Payne's gray you can mix it with some of burnt sienna maybe, if you have burnt sienna with you. Or add, see, over here, I've put in just one color. What you can do is put in two or three colors that granulate. Like you can put in French ultramarine, you can put in burnt sienna, Mars brown, Payne's gray, whatever you have. Just put in two or three colors. And with your credit card, when I'm picking just one color, you load it up with two, three colors. I'm going to disappoint you from the start itself because I won't be sketching, first of all. Secondly, there would be only one layer, and that's the beauty of hot press. Why I choose hot press with the subjects I'm not really comfortable or I don't really enjoy that much. Because you need to get in and get out of using your painting when using hot press paper. It doesn't allow you to layer too much, work with it, fuss over it. So come in, come out. I've got already shown you the sample painting that we'll be painting today. It's a very simple thing. You don't have to stress it out. That's more for my sake more than yours because I'm like freaking and sweating bullets over here. John, if I paint and have a complete meltdown, you have to take over, do the painting, and do it in.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
So we are going to start. I'm just loading up my credit card edge. Now I don't want equal load across the edge. So I'm gonna like tap now. And sorry for the noise. If you don't like it, you might want to mute it, but it's gonna happen throughout the session. John, keep me honest about the time. So
Don't worry, don't worry. That's one of my roles. Louise said, "Could you just repeat the colours? Would that be possible?"
for me, in this demo, I'm using obsidian brown. That's from Rockville Art, Canada. And any lavender, because lavender across every brand is the same composition. So a lavender for shadows and obsidian brown for the separation. But you can use their lapis brown. If you don't have it, you're having Daniel Smith colors, go for moon glow or shadow violet. Shadow violet is a great color for mountains and landscapes. And if you want to mix your own colors, mix it. Mix ultramarine, but go for French ultramarine. It's got more granulation. Mix Mars brown or burnt sienna or John is just like a deja vu. I'm speaking the same thing again and again.
No, that's okay. No, that's brilliant. Hopefully that helps, Louise. Thank you very much.
Here goes nothing. Let's see. Start the mountain over here. Now remember, with the composition, you don't want anything in the middle because it distracts and it's like, okay, this is it, bam. The viewer won't move his eyes across the paper. So your subject has to be somewhere off. The thirds probably would be the best choice. It's landscape. I'm going to be doing 2/3 of land and maybe 1/3 of sky. So
And
that's
obviously,
that.
this is a very good way to. This is a good technique to save money because you have to cut up your credit card.
Yeah, I won't be spending that. My boo is very happy about it. Okay, I'm just using the edge of the credit card. I'm not like swiping it against it. I'm just like, let's call it plastering. If you're familiar with the oils and acrylics, you call it an impasto, I think. Impasto technique. I think many people use it. If now I'm gonna have to be quick. So, one of the major reasons why I started doing abstracts and semi-abstracts using these kind of materials is because when I did a demo or something, or where I reviewed some brushes that those were very expensive, people would say, no, I cannot paint a good painting because I don't have these expensive brushes. But the thing is, you don't need expensive brushes. I paint with credit cards. I paint like with a twig that I've sharpened. It's like one of the best things that gives you amazing impressionistic results and marks. You get some amazing marks with it. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna load it up again. Now, John, when you want to take a break, let me know beforehand.
Well, I would probably normally take a break in about 5 minutes or so. So,
Okay, so I'll just do half the mountain and then we'll
okay,
come back to the other half later on.
okay, perfect.
So I'll keep loading on the brush. I say brush, but it's the card. I keep loading on the card, and I'll just. It's not a smooth motion. I'm just like ragged edges that you might see on a peak of a mountain. Now, John, I must compliment you because I was like a nervous wreck at the beginning of this, but it's not that bad. I like it. Okay, I'll keep moving. Sorry about that, because now even with the spray bottle, I don't want you to just spray. You have to use the spray bottle and use the sputter also. When you have the nozzle half down and it's just dropping huge droplets, uneven droplets, because that gets more interest. Now it doesn't look like a mountain at all, and that's okay because you add the sky, add some negative edges to it.
Now, when you were spraying the paper, I saw that you were holding the paper at a certain angle, but it was always the same angle. Would you also move it around a bit?
No, because with the mountain, you always have a shadow side.
Okay.
There will be one shadow side, there will be a light side. If I could just come back to this painting. See, over here, we have a shadow side. And
Ah,
this is the light side. If I do my painting, move my painting over here, I'll be moving the shadow over here also. I don't want that.
got you.
I want one side to be a shadow area, one side to be a light area. Now it depends upon the reference photo, everything that you have. But yeah, this is what I'm going for. I'm having like this side is a shadow area, this one is hit by sunlight, and we've got some sky over there. So, and if you look at a mountain, it always has, oh God, it's doing its own thing. John, you're distracting me.
Sorry. Just blame me. Blame COVID and blame me.
And that's the other thing. With hot press paper, you have to be really quick because the paint dries and it's done for. You are done for. Okay, I want to add some more shadow color. So I'll be going in with the lavender and just wherever I feel like. Okay, I might add it over here, just add some interest. And I'm moving the puddles out because at the edge of the paper, you might be collecting some puddles, and I don't want it to be forming a cauliflowers over here. I do love cauliflowers in my florals, but not in this one. This mountain, it's already an impressionistic, semi-abstract look, and if I add more unwanted things, it might just distract from it because your brain is filling in for all the information that I'm not giving you. Yeah, if I want a foggy cloud, something, I'll be lifting it over here. See, this is why you need to stand up. You can, I'm practically squatting over here, but yeah. John, is there any question from anyone? Because if it is, I'll be happy to answer.
No, I think everybody's getting stuck into doing this. It looks super fun.
Ah, okay. I was really stressed out about it. Doing this because my first demo, something happened and I couldn't do some other demos. So I was really stressed out about it. So my hubby said, what's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing is that you might crash and burn, and John might not ask you back. And I was like, oh yeah, that's the best thing that could happen. No more anxiety for me.
I'd always have you back, Nisha.
That's sweet. And I thought this is a homecoming for me after like almost a year, as you said.
I know. How long's it been? It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
It was about October, November.
Yeah.
Yeah, during that time. Yeah. So I'm just cleaning out the edges. Now, all these edges for the mountains, I'm having a broken edge. I don't want a continuous edge because if it's a continuous edge, it will look like a plastic cutout that has been stuck over it. I don't want that. I want white gaps. I don't want full, complete black line in here. So, how's it looking so far, John?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it's taking shape. You can see there's the mountain there, can't you? So it really is taking form. And would now be an appropriate time to stop for a little break.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Bobby said, "This is so cool. I can't wait to watch again and paint along. I think I'm going to finally have to get some lavender. I've been putting that off." And Karen said, "I'm loving it, so definitely would like Nisha back." So that's great. So thank you. Now, at this halfway point, what we're going to do now is have a chat about Nisha's longer 2 to 3 hour workshop webinar, which is scheduled towards the end of August. Actually, I think is it the 23rd seems to spring to mind. It's around about that sort of date. This is almost like a thick icy lake with the mountains in the backdrop, but you've done it all by using the techniques with the credit cards. Is that right?
The whole scratching, like we are using plastering technique over here. That's the term. I've trademarked it. Don't use it. So they're using plastering over here, and over here I've used scraping. Over here I'm putting on the paint with this credit card. Over here I'm taking out the paint with the credit card. So all these things, I'm not using much of white gouache. So even over here, so it's not a white gouache as you might think, but it's just scraping. I've scraped out the paint using the credit card. So yeah, we can do this and continue on the credit card journey where it doesn't cost you much. So this one.
Yeah.
But these would be finished quite quickly. So what I would suggest is you combine that one with a shipwreck thing. Got a tape over here. Okay. We can go with this one. Again, the whole ship is painted using a credit card. I haven't used brushes or. It's a ship. Your mind tells you it's a ship, but it's not got much details. So yeah, we can go with the combination of these two.
Okay, so you're getting to. This is more of a technical workshop, really, because what Nisha is going to be expanding on how you can use the credit card in lots of different ways to create different effects within your paintings. Now, we've had over the last year or so, sometimes we launch workshops and we put in quite a lot of work to launch these workshops on our website and everything, and we go through the whole thing. We build all the different web pages, we have all the sample photos and reference, and then sometimes on occasion we can get a low turnout of numbers, and sometimes we have to postpone the workshop, which is all extra work or things like that. So what we're going to try today is we're going to ask those of you that are here on this show whether you want to join this workshop, and if we get over a minimum number, then we'll be able to build all the web pages and do all the things so that it'll definitely happen, because we know that we've secured that minimum, and we think that that might just be a little bit of a way to make sure that all the workshops then we're then putting on, they're definitely going ahead with it. It's especially hard over at least the summer periods as well, because we know people are going off on holiday and things like that. So there is an item, and we've called it reserving the workshop, and it's totally free for you to reserve the workshop, but you have to kind of check out, and the commitment is that if we do pass that minimum, you are then kind of committed to, then if we do go ahead with it, we'll send you the link and then you can actually pay. And it's going, if you're a non-patron, it's £30 and it includes the video, and if you are a patron, you get it for £25. So what I'll do is I will post the link to that in the chat now, and if you're wanting to join in the workshop, it will be on the Tuesday the 23rd of August, and we're going to be doing the pirate ship setting and the ice fjords for that workshop. Louise, do you have me? Not sure if I did it correctly. Yes, Louise, you haven't checked out, so you do need to add it to cart and check out. It is free, so it doesn't cost you anything to pledge, as Nisha said, but you do need to kind of check out, because then it logs you as a committed person. And the same for Louise, another Louise Winsberg, and yes, Marianne, you have done it, and Forzia, not sure it works, but I'd like to join. So there's a few, if you could just check out, because then it logs it that, and it takes the score down, which is why I was just giving you a little bit of time. And Bobby, yes, if you can't make the date, that's okay, because that's why we're including the video. So the video will probably be more expensive after the event. It's usually about £35, so it is better value to do this bundle. So back with you, Nisha.
Thankfully. So I'm going to continue with the plastering and spraying and sputtering, and finish the second half of the mountain and bring it across the paper. Okay. It's not a full connected edge, it's a broken edge. And some places I'm putting on more paint, just because when I put the spray bottle to use, it would stay dark, it would give a tonal range. And down some random lines, because you can see lines and bridges from afar on a mountain. But usually this painting takes me about 20 minutes, because John has eaten into all my time. So blame it on John if I don't finish it, because I'm going to do that. And John is far away. He's not hearing me complain of you.
I am. I'm just slightly distracted.
Oh. Okay, I'm putting in some lavender just for interest. And it is a great shadow colors, because someone said they didn't have lavender. I didn't use lavender before, and it's a great shadow color. I always thought, okay, it's an opaque color. What will I use it for? I don't like opaque colors and watercolors, but they have got their uses, It's amazing what an opaque color can do to your already amazing transparent watercolor painting. I'm going to keep adding this. adding sputtering. And in some places, I'm going to bring it down. And it's diffusing on its own. I don't have random hand wrist movement. If you're trying this technique, I would suggest put a towel or any wrap cloth underneath your painting. Because that's what I do. I keep wiping my brush against this towel and I keep pouring the paint, excess paint on it. So you won't end up with a huge puddle on the floor, which I do most of the times. Another great tip, don't wear white in your painting. It's not a great move. Try not to wear whites. Keep cutting.
Okay, we've got 5 now, which is great.
My heart is sinking over here. Oh, guys, you want to give me anxiety, a panic attack. Nervous breakdown.
I know, maybe this isn't a great strategy. I don't want you keeling over.
They don't like me, that's it.
Hazel says she loves her lavender.
Yeah, I heard a lot of prominent artists, they use lavender like excessively in their painting. And I always thought that it's got white, it will kill every other color, but it doesn't. Even with like a red or that used to get red and beautiful with red. Adding some lavender. Now this is another reason that I paint flat because it's I keep moving it around. So I've got mood.
It's lovely, that combination of colours, isn't it? Works really well. Can you repeat the make of your lavender, Nisha?
Make my lavender. Actually, all the lavenders in the market have the same make. You want the pigments or do you want the company?
Yeah, what company is it?
I think this is from Van Gogh, but I use lavenders from Daniel Smith, from even other brands. So lavender across the brands, it's the same thing. You can use any lavender. You know, this thing happened while I was in Singapore. I went to an art supply store and someone was arguing with the shopkeeper that I want this color from this brand. And it was actually a dioxazine purple from a certain brand. And I said, if you don't have that color, why not look for PB23 in some other brand because it's the same color. So you have to be aware of your pigments because colors, the name across the brand, they might change. But if you have the make of the color, the pigment numbers, what it's made of, you can easily switch from brand to brand. I think I like it. So do you have many oil and acrylic painters in this class? So they might be very familiar with this technique that I'm doing.
Yeah, within the professionals that we host.
No. The participants in this class.
Oh, okay.
This impasto thing, I think it's pretty common in oil painting or acrylic painting. So yeah, because watercolors, the traditional watercolors might freak out and be like, what the hell is she doing? You might have to bleep out some of the parts, John, but it's okay. It's just me talking. But yeah, most of the traditional watercolors would look down, frown upon this because I have, if you can see, it's like a thick coat of paint. It's not going anywhere. Over here, it's like a thick coat. And is it okay? Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's lovely. It's got some great textures to it, hasn't it?
Yeah. And it's not the texture from the paper. It's the texture from the paint. So
Yeah,
that's a great thing.
yeah.
Now that's the reason that I don't like the texture from the paper and the paint to compete with each other, especially in these techniques. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add some fine edges. Okay, here to give an idea that there is a area where sunlight is hitting. Okay, let's just go and use the other strip. Now I'm going in with lavender because I can do that. Painting, I can do anything.
Eva said, "This is the first time I'm beginning to fall in love with lavender." Thank you, Nisha.
Ah, you're welcome. I'm always happy to help someone buy and spend more on art supplies. Go ahead and get yourself a lavender. I hope we can finish this because I really wanted you guys to have a. Is everything okay, John? Because I hear you
Well,
me out.
somebody's so somebody's been a bit naughty and ordered 9 of the reserves.
Who is that?
There's always one that works out the way around it.
Okay, I think almost done. The mountain part is almost done.
Yes, it's nice those little backdrop touches there because it just gives depth, doesn't it, to the mountain?
It's just highlighting the sunlit part of the mountain because we have already done with the shadow part. Now, this is also against most of the traditional watercolorists. What they do is paint the sky first, then come to the foreground and like fudge it. We'll paint the foreground first, and then if we have time, we'll go for the sky. So I'm just taking out the excess puddle over here. It's not looking bad, is it, John? It's fine,
No, I
right?
think it's great.
Okay.
And would you, if you were doing this as a proper painting rather than a tutorial, would you start with the sky, or would you do, if you wanted to do the sky, or would you do that
The
later?
way I would work for this because I'm not sketching anything. I don't have anything sketched out. So if my sky ends up in the subject, what would
Yes.
I
Okay.
do? So I don't have any sketch. I don't want any sketch for this because it's more freeing and more like I can tell the even the reference paint paper or reference painting to heck with it. I don't want to follow it. I will do whatever feels right because I don't have a preliminary sketch. I don't have anything. Uh-oh. I did a boo over there. So that's a great way of loosening up or even seeing a subject for the first time. What do you, what makes an impression on your brain? Because when you see a mountain, I'm sure you don't see every nook and cranny in the mountain. You're just seeing the whole shape and some of the majestic and slopes of it. Okay, it's going lavender. Okay.
Lovely. I think that is so effective. I think it's great, and I think with a little bit of practice at home, for those watching, I think we could get some really great mountain scenes coming out that which would be fantastic.
Last thing that I'm gonna do is add some negative edges with the sky for the mountain so that it comes forward. I'm not painting the sky because it's not a subject, main subject, not the focus area of this painting. I'm just painting some negative edges in this color. So I'm just still using those two colors. This is just gonna bring your mountain into focus because if you see over here, I haven't connected much over here, uh, the edge of the mountain. But if you add some background, like a lavender shade, it's gonna make your brain think that, okay, this is in the foreground, there's a background, some cloud forming, maybe, or just the sky. Can you see that? I don't know if
Yep.
it's clear or not.
Yep.
Okay.
It's very faint.
Yeah, I know.
It
Ah.
wasn't a criticism.
We can go dark and making huge puddles over here. But that's how I work. I'm not a tidy painter. I mess up my clothes, my floor, even the plants that I have over here have been painted red, orange, blue, you name it. The plants are not green anymore. So even the sky area, I'm gonna bring it in so that I don't have a sharp edge again. So if I've got lavender over here, I'm gonna bring it in as a shadow area of the mountain. John, are you bored? You're giving me such heavy sighs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is that? It's just
I can hear that.
trying to manage all the Q&A chats. I'm getting a bit lost. I've had a week or so off, so it's probably trying to get back into things again. Diana says, "Is that a piece of wool you have under your painting or felt? Because we do that in Chinese brush painting."
What? This thing?
The the yes, the thing that you're wiping your brush on underneath the painting.
That's just an old towel, bath
Just a
towel.
towel.
Yeah, you can use anything. You can use old t-shirts, your new t-shirts. They do end up over here. Because, yeah, anything. I don't know. I find it more because I can wipe over here. I can wipe over here. It doesn't matter. It's filthy as I don't know what to compare it to, but it's very, very filthy. It doesn't go see the face of the washing machine, but yeah, it's helpful. I like it. It's a great way of working. You can wipe your brushes anytime you want, anywhere you want. I can go over here and wipe it away. I don't have to
Yeah,
come back.
that's quite. Yeah,
Yeah.
rather than having a little sponge.
Yeah. And because I'm moving my paper again and again, I don't want to hold something over here in my hand or rag towel or even paper just to wipe out my brushes. So yeah, it works for me. It may not work for you, but again, to each his own. Okay. I'm not really worried about this. I love my spray bottle. We have a special relationship. Okay, I don't think it's showing very clearly on the screen, but it is pretty dark now. I don't know. Can you see the clouds? Because I don't want to go any darker than this.
No, I think you've done. It looks a lovely interpretation of whatever mountain that is. I'm sure there is
Yeah,
a mountain somewhere that looks exactly like that.
yeah. In somewhere in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
Okay. Since it's completely no edge over here, just bring it up. Yeah, that's it. And your brain is gonna fill in all the information that's missing over here. Hmm. Yeah, I think we can call it done.
Great. No, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Nisha. Lovely,
Hmm.
a lovely mountainside, and hopefully you at home are feeling a bit cooler painting a snowy mountain top. Certainly need it at the moment. We'd love to see what you create, and in actual fact, we've been in touch with an art company. Who's the manufacturer, Nisha?
It's Rockville Art Canada. They're a paint manufacturing company from Canada. They've got a range of watercolors, even acrylics. So yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
and they've got some spot cards. Have you got any there? Do you
no,
have
I
you?
don't have.
No.
Lucky you, I don't have any dot cards from them. How lucky are the people who might get it?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they've got a little. It's like a presentation box of dot cards, and so what we're going to do is we're going to select three winners from. So when you've done your paintings from this short class, if you take a photo of it and share it on the Facebook page the Facebook post that we've made for this particular class, and we are going to pick probably by the end of next week, so the end of the first week of August, we'll make a decision on who the three winners are going to be, and they will get sent some dot cards from Rockwell Art.
Well, Art Canada, yeah. So a dot card is like a scoop of paint, like a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon of paint that you can try out for yourself. You can paint with it in your existing painting that you're painting, or even the paper that that they're sending it on is like cut out like a bookmark, so you can paint on it and use it later on as a bookmark. So,
Yeah, no, it's
and
quite a nice little gift. So we're handing out three of those, and they'll send that out to you. So do share your paintings on the post for this class, and it's open to everyone. So if you're watching the recording of this, you can also take part. And we're going to be making the decision towards the end of the first week of August. I've had a couple of messages from a few people, so Louise and Lather, saying that they'd like to join the workshop, but they haven't been able to check out. It is quite important that you can check out on this system, because that's how you book the workshop when we send you the link for the class. And if there is an issue there, I'd like to kind of work out exactly what that is. We just need another 4 people at least to do this workshop. So if you are able to, if you're sitting on the fence and want to do it, if you can't make the date for the live event, it doesn't matter, because the video is included as well. And if you want to even ask some questions in the run up to that event, and email that over to me, I can make sure that we ask that with Nisha at the live event. So it is a good price, even if you were just purchasing the video, let alone the video and the live event. So do consider that, and if you're a patron, you get it probably works out at around about 15% off. We've had a few comments from some people. So, well, first of all, Diana, this was earlier on, and I haven't mentioned it until now. She said, I hadn't spotted behind you, but you've got this magical elephant behind you. She didn't see the elephant straight away, but she said it's beautiful.
yeah, that's one of my most recent painting, and I love it. If I can take it out, I'll show it to you close up.
Oh, brilliant.
But I love it. It's
Oh, yes.
So it's got like 7 or 8 layers of transparent watercolor.
Wow.
But it took me about like 3-4 days to finish it.
Wow, that is really good, and it resembles your florals, to be honest, doesn't it? The way that
Yeah,
you've used the
yeah.
elephant ears and everything, they're almost like petals.
And the thing is, again, what I was telling you about in this class itself, if you see, I haven't painted the ears. They
Yes.
aren't finished. I haven't painted anything over here, but nothing. It's not connected over here. It's just some random dots and lines. But
Yeah.
your brain is telling you it's an elephant. It's 2 ears. It's connected. It's the curve over here. But see, that's what I'm telling you. Don't make continuous edges. Leave it unfinished. Leave them ragged.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Well, and we've had a couple of other comments as well. Eva said, such a wonderful demo. I've tried this scene on both hot press and not. Interesting effects. I'm going to play with this later. Thank you. So thanks, Eva. and Eva also said stunning elephant. Wendy asked, how do I share my painting? So if you're logged in to Facebook on your phone, this is probably the easiest thing. Go to your Facebook app, type in Shopkeep Arty. Make sure you're following us as well there, because then you'll get notifications when we post new posts in the future. So like us or whatever, and then visit the Shopkeep Arty post, and pretty much at the top, because this is our most recent event, you'll find a post about this event, and it even says share your paintings here, and press the comment as though you're leaving a comment, and you can press the little camera, which means share a photo, and it will then open up your phone camera and you can just take a photo of your painting, and that's probably the easiest way to do it, and you can just share it on that Facebook post. Bobby said, had to walk dogs during break, can you show potential class picture again please? So we'll share the class picture at the end, Bobby. And Diana said, elephants are so loved. Every time I paint one, it gets sold right away. I know, it's they're a very favourite animal for a lot of people. And Griffin said, that's gorgeous. Love the style and techniques and the effects Nisha achieves. The elephant is beautiful. Jean said, I've checked out, but it asked me to buy now, so I can't do that. Yes, you just press the buy now. That's all you do. So when you're in the checkout and it says buy now, because it's free, you just press buy now and it'll confirm it, hopefully, Jean. Love this, Jean said, by the way. Mary Jane, beautiful. Looking forward to trying this. Louise, very interesting techniques, very enjoyable. And Christina said, thank you for a lovely class. And Christina, looking forward to England playing Sweden this evening in the Women's Euros. I'm really looking forward to watching that match too. Nisha, it's been really lovely hosting you. Thank you so much for your time. I think it was a really lovely subject. I didn't quite know how we were going to work with all the credit card things, but it's such a great technique.
You should give it a try. I'm expecting one entry at least from you.
I will get cutting up my credit cards now. And fingers crossed, hopefully we'll be able to do a workshop with you in the coming weeks. It's really lovely hosting you, and I love your approach to art and art materials. I've got to mention that in, and look forward to seeing you soon. So thank you so much. But obviously we've got to, seeing as this is the first time actually hosting you as one of our artists, we've got to give you a big round of applause. And we'll finish on your art. Thanks, everyone. Bye, Nisha. Yeah, thank you.